Hello, I'm Simon Whistler, you're watching TopTenzNet, and in the video today we're looking at the top 10 toughest athletic challenges. Number 10. The Tough Guy. The Tough Guy is a 12-kilometer foot race, but don't let the short distance fool you. The creator of the course, believing that nature can't provide a racetrack that's hardcore enough for him, has built a series of obstacles that combine aspects of American gladiators with the Vietnam War. Competitors climb up log walls, shimmy up poles, to slide across high ropes, run through fire pits, and so much more. Injuries are very common, and 2 people have even been killed, which is why you have to sign a death warrant before taking part. Number 9. The Barkley Marathon. The Barkley Marathon, held at Frozen Head State Park, Tennessee, is a 161-kilometer run, but that's not the hard part. It's the staggering 18,000-meter climb that causes problems. Well, that and the fact that there isn't one of those fancy-pants trails for you to follow. Since 1986, about 700 people have attempted the annual marathon, but only 9 have finished under the 60-hour time limit. The cutoff seems harsh considering the course record is 55 hours and 42 minutes. Number 8. Norseman Xtreme Triathlon. At 226 kilometers, it's about the length of an Ironman triathlon, but it's a lot tougher. For starters, the race takes place in Norway, so the swim takes place in water that, well, if you're lucky, will reach a temperature of 17 degrees Celsius. The bike leg is pretty standard, but the run takes you up a mountain, and you don't get the benefit of a road for very long. The last 17 kilometers has competitors gaining almost 2,000 meters in elevation, and they're doing it on a rocky mountain path. Number 7. The Marathon des Sables. Running a marathon is a nice achievement and all, but if you really want to challenge yourself, you should run 6 of them over consecutive days, and then you should do it in southern Morocco at a time of year when temperature tends to be around 50 degrees Celsius. Oh, and forget about paved roads, it's rocks and sand dunes for you. And did we mention that you have to carry your sleeping bag, food, and other supplies on your back, and that you have to cook for yourself every night? Number 6. Everest Challenge. Contrary to what you might think from its name, this 2-day, 332-kilometer bike ride actually takes place in California, not on the side of Mount Everest. Don't worry though, it still has a vertical climb of 9,144 meters, making it comparable to the Barkley Marathon. There's barely a flat area on the whole course. You're pretty much biking uphill the entire way, and sometimes at a grade of 20%. And since it takes around 14 hours to complete the challenge, your legs have little chance of coming out intact. That's assuming you even finish. Plenty of people give up after day 1. Number 5. The Ultraman. This 3-day, 515-kilometer race has been held annually in Hawaii since 1983. Day 1 consists of a 10-kilometer swim through the ocean, followed by a 145-kilometer bike ride. Day 2 has contestants biking for another 276 kilometers, and on day 3, the Ultraman concludes with an 84-kilometer run, the equivalent of 2 marathons. Only 35 people are allowed to compete every year, and the winner usually boasts a completion time of just under 24 hours. And yeah, you know a race is pretty intense when the best time is about a day. Number 4. The Simpson Desert Bike Challenge. This is the biking equivalent of the Marathon des Sables, as contestants spend 5 days cycling across remote parts of the Australian outback. Most of the 590 kilometers is spent going over sand dunes and rocky plains, all the while putting up with intense heat and swarms of bugs. The winning time is usually around 40 grueling hours. On the plus side, participants can have a support crew to prepare meals, do laundry, and so on. Number 3. Yukon Arctic Ultra. Ultra does not even begin to describe this event. It's a 702-kilometer race through the Arctic, which participants can complete on either bikes, skis, or if they really hate themselves, foot. That much distance is tough enough on its own, never mind the fact that the average temperature is minus 20 degrees Celsius. This is the only race we know of where you're required to bring a headlamp, 48 hours worth of emergency food, and most worryingly, an avalanche shovel. There's a strict time limit of 13 days for completion, although most people end up being forced to retire well before that. Number 2. The Iditarod. Easily the most famous event on our list, the Iditarod is a 1,868-kilometer dog sled race across Alaska. Of course, it's the team of 16 dogs that's doing most of the work, but the whiteout conditions, blizzards, and wind chill that can drop the temperature to a balmy minus 73 Celsius makes this event tough on the driver as well. Number 1. The Atlantic Rowing Race. Yes, that's Atlantic, as in the Atlantic Ocean. Beginning in 1997 and held every 2 years, the race starts in the Canary Islands and ends in the West Indies. At 4,722 kilometers long, it's longer than every other event on this list combined, and the 2009 edition took contestants anywhere from 40 to 90 days to complete. Most of the boats are manned by pairs or teams of 4, but a few particularly brave people have attempted the journey solo. That's 3 months of sitting in a tiny boat by yourself, living off ration packs and straining your muscles to row across choppy ocean water. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do give us a like below and don't forget to subscribe. Also, over there on the right are a couple of other videos you'll probably enjoy if you enjoyed this one, so check those out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.